So about a month ago, I mentioned in the video how there were a lot of people DMing me, asking me how they could move abroad. Well, come to find out that there was a record number of Americans looking to leave the US. But why though? We all kind of know why, so, but it's a good question to ask. Cookie, look at the cookie, a little hard cookie. And now we are in Amsterdam today. I honestly wasn't planning on being in Amsterdam, but I was here to have coffee with a friend. It fell through. I was already here, so that's why I'm here. And so now, why on earth are so many Americans looking to leave the United States? Because I mean, it's a lot of Americans. Like, the number of searches this year alone has been like record-breaking. And Pimpin', we only in March. I mean, legit, Americans are looking to move all over the place. The first one being New Zealand, with an increase in searches by 7,600%. Second on the list being Germany, with a 4,200% increase in searches. And now for the third one, I'm sure you could probably guess, and that is the Netherlands, with an increase in searches of 3,200%. Both. With fourth on the list being Ireland, and fifth on the list being Japan. Now that's pretty dope too. If you didn't know, I love Japan. Side note, oh, look at man, that weather is sauce today. Another great day. Holy cow, man. And now, if I'm being honest, I didn't find that list on my own. I actually was listening to a YouTube video that talked about it, and she listed like 12 other countries. And so literally after I did some digging, I mean, it was no shock that the number one reason why people were looking to move that are living in the States was the cost of living. And now, a lot of people be pushing back on me when I talk about this. Basically how, well, the cost of living can't be that bad, and it's worse here than that. Like, pimp. Oh man, should we walk through the flower market? I kind of like, you know what, let's just go that way. But yeah, man, I don't know what it is. People just don't want to believe how expensive the States can be. Now, it does vary, but just the cost of living, like the average, when you take the national average in the States, it is extremely expensive. Yeah, we just need to get through this flower market because it's kind of busy. So look at all these people. There's a lot of people down there. Holy cow. Okay, now let's go through these national averages, okay? And now let's start off with the average American income. And average income in America is $85,000. Sounds good, right? Well, not when you add in everything else. Because you see, the average electricity bill is $184 a month. Average Wi-Fi bill, $100 a month. Average cost of gas, $150 a month. Average water and sewage price, $72 a month. Average student loan cost, $500 a month. Average HOA fee, $400 a month. Average credit card bill, $200 a month. Average health care. Now, by year, healthcare is averaging about $5,500 a year. Now, let's just say you have kids and you want to put them in daycare twice a week because you and your spouse is working, or you and your partner are working. Well, that's going to run you for 2 days a week, $650. And that's one kid for 1 week. And now, if you do the math, you will already start to see the issue. And the issue is that $85,000 ain't enough, because we didn't even talk about everything. We didn't talk about the average cost of groceries per month. We also didn't talk about the average cost of people's rent, and we didn't talk about the average cost of someone's mortgage. We also left off car insurance and a car note. Two things which a lot of people have, as well as the phone bill. Completely left that off too. Which brings me to the point I've been making all along. I took a pay cut here in the Netherlands. Again, I moved here without a job, so I don't get any tax benefits, nothing. I paid my high taxes just like everybody else. But yeah, I took a big pay cut when I moved here, and I still come out ahead. It's because the monthly expenses that I have personally, even with 2 kids, I'm not nearly paying as much as just the things that I listed off. And Pippin, that's with my mortgage. Like legit, if I throw in everything, even some extras like travel, it still wouldn't add up to the cost of the average person and what they're paying over in America. Cause I was just doing a vlog and these people just full on stared at me. And now look, I know what a lot of y'all are thinking, and that is, well, if it's that expensive, why don't they just kind of cut back on their spending. Well, pimping, I'ma be real, a lot of them are. This is why a lot of people don't have health insurance. This is also why a lot of people are not having kids. That's just the reality of the situation. I'm just super saying. So then how are people getting by? Well, data has shown that it's credit cards. There's a large amount of people basically offsetting their cost of living using credit cards, and they're using it for almost everything they can possibly use it for. So legit, when I'm saying that it's expensive in the States, like these grocery prices be out of control, trust me, pimp. Just like I trust y'all, because I know we on that Wi-Fi, trust me. So yeah, it being a record number of Americans wanting to leave, it kind of makes sense. A record number of people want to leave America because they feel that they barely surviving instead of thriving. I mean, it's kind of true. Ooh, that sunlight. Dang, look at that sun. Woo. And also, too, please don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that it's perfect here or anywhere else. All I'm saying, though, it's expensive in America. Another reason that I read why people want to leave America is develop transportation, meaning just access to public transportation. Because as you guys may know, America is all about that car life. Pimping, I don't know how they do it. I can't do it anymore. I would, oh, gee. Yelling. But yeah, I cannot do the car life anymore, man. I'm not about that. Which is a bit weird for somebody like me too, considering I am a car guy. I love cars and I love driving. But I just couldn't imagine having to have a car. Like you know what I mean? Like I just couldn't imagine that anymore. I think the Netherlands spoiled me. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. I'm just being real. Not to mention all the headaches that come with owning a car. And it's different when you just have a car to have it, but versus having a car because you need a car. I almost got hit by a bike. That would have been my fault. Actually, no, that would have been her fault. We got the light. What? Yeah, we got the light. But yeah, the reason I say that is because when you have to have a car, you're putting so much strain on the car. And those costs add up, and they add up quick. And then don't be in a place like Chicago or Atlanta. Man, it's so much stress on that car. That dude was trying to say what's up. But then if you get past the cost, because let's say you can afford it, so it's not a big deal, then you have the time that you're spending in this car. And to me, I've said this before, but to me, the time is not worth it. Like spending hours and hours in your car commuting back and forth to work, it's not worth it to me. The traffic in some of these places is crazy. Oh man, I gotta get on a Sprinter. Man, we didn't even touch on the whole like depression and loneliness thing, because yeah, that's a whole nother thing with these cars. Public transportation all day. Oh man, it's hot. Dang, it's hot. I mean, I'm being dead serious too. There's something nice about public transportation. You know what I think is sad about this whole car thing too is that like more than 80% of Americans need to have a car. That's the wrong way. But yeah, there's so many Americans that have to have a car to do everything that they need to do on a day-to-day basis, which really says a lot. I mean, we're talking grocery stores, we're talking going to the bank, going to pay bills, going to hang out with friends. Oh man, I went the wrong way again. But yeah, going to hang out with friends, going to work, everything that a person has to do on a day-to-day basis, they need a car for. And man, I cannot tell you how many people I've talked to that wish it wasn't like that, that wish that they didn't have to have a car for everything that they did. They didn't have to have a car to live their life, basically. And a lot of them feel like they're just stuck because it's almost forced on them. They didn't ask to have a car, and it's too expensive to live in places that you don't need a car. Versus a place like here, a lot of places in Europe, a lot of places in Asia, public transportation is freaking amazing. Now, yes, they have problems. We have delays and things happen like strikes and stuff like that. Don't get me, I mean, there was a huge strike in Italy when we were there and it kind of messed us up a bit, but it wasn't too bad. But yeah, things happen, but I'm telling you, it's better than having to have a car, not having the option to have public transportation because that car is almost kind of, somebody say hi to me? Because for most Americans, that car that they have is kind of sucking their life away. I mean, they're spending so much time in it, so much money. And yeah, it's not the only thing it's used for is to get from place to place. For a lot of people, their car, since they have to have it, is almost like golden handcuffs. Oh man, I heard a lady, she was cracking up, right? And she was just snorting up like crazy. Man, I love this place, man. And now there were so many other reasons why Americans were looking to leave the States, but the one that I'm gonna have to hit on would have to be safety. Because what's starting to happen is a lot of Americans are just not feeling safe in their own country. I mean, it was already bad, but it's just constantly getting worse and worse. And yeah, crime may be on the rise like in almost every country. Remember though, America is special because Americans, they're very extreme, which means almost everything they do is like amplified. So when we're talking about the crime being on the rise, well, in the States, it's like, it's on a whole nother level. I mean, for me, I couldn't imagine being there because I like to be outside. I also love taking my kids outside, and I love being out just not needing to worry about certain things. And now, not to play devil's advocate, but when I go back to the States, it's actually not that bad. I mean, the people are extremely nice. I rarely have any problems, and it's not what you think when you go there, but the vibe that you get is real. Like, there is something about the vibe when you go there. Like, I'm not even joking. You feel, it just really feels unsafe, and the stress that comes with that vibe, that stress is real, and things do happen. And the last thing that anybody would want is like something to happen to their wife or their kids. And yeah, it just, that vibe is just in the air. Versus a lot of places I travel to, I feel so much safer than I ever have in the States. And now I need to run up in Cool Blue before they close because me and my kids, we're gonna play some Mario Kart tonight. Oh man, that's always nice to see. Harlem, man, that's all I gotta say. Harlem is, oh, there's some more. Oh, come on. Let me see if I can get them. There you go. Oh man, come on, man. There you go. Tell me Harlem ain't boss.